Hello, comrades. It's Premier Rever, back again at the wonderful city of Revergrad. And we are sitting here really for no reason because all of the action is in other places on the map. But I do want to thank two different people over time. I mean, I want to thank all of you guys for all of your comments. I enjoy reading them, and a lot of them are good advice. Radomir and Sizendem. They both have suggested that I use road cargo stations, and let me pause for a minute just so I don't feel anxious about the other exciting things going on. The road cargo station, I think I dismissed, not so much after your comments, but prior to your comments. And the road cargo station, I was picturing, like to me, a road cargo station is something that you would put on the road, right? Like here. And could just be, my interpretation of English kind of thing or the wording. And then I thought, well, that's stupid because it doesn't hold hardly anything. Like I pictured it as a road transfer station. But what I've come to realize through your comments is that, and I never built one, so I didn't realize this, it has 4 truck stops, or parking spaces. So you can have 4 trucks sitting there waiting. Which means that if you were to attach it in particular, I guess it would be beneficial in a number of locations. But let's just say we attached it to our shopping center here. What you could then do is connect it with one of these, one of the cargo things. Let me bring that up so you can see, you can connect it to this cargo thing here. And then you could put a number of trucks that would sit there and wait with things like food, for example. So I think that I am going to do that, which actually now makes me happy. I know I've mentioned this in the beginning of several episodes that I hadn't built this. Well, now I'm kind of happy that I didn't, because I think, though I'll probably never fit it in there without destroying a bunch of stuff, that I can flip this guy around, so that the exit is on the other side, and I can get rid of the store and the grocery store. And I think I could even fit that road. I might be able to fit all that in this space, but we'll see. I'm not quite ready, though very shortly, probably even in this episode, I'm not quite ready to do that, because I think the priority for the beginning of the episode, at the very least, is to get this guy up and running. Just in that short time that when I had gone to start the episode, this substation wasn't finished. So we should have power, no workers, but we do have a bus stop. So we do have a depot over here someplace, don't we? Yep. So let me go ahead and get a bus. Now, how many people? I'm really not worried about people going to the farm. And they actually have to go to the field anyway, not necessarily directly to the farm. So I'm really just worried about people coming to this factory at this point. So they can handle any number. So we should probably get them a fast, decent bus. I like the faster buses just because I feel like, you get more people, though that's probably not necessarily true. The red buses are awful nice for that. Now, let's see, this is a massive number of passengers. I don't think we necessarily need that. Sometimes the other thing is it would be nice to be able to sort this by either price or age, just because they'll sneak one in on you and then they'll put it, well, here, let's go to bus just so we have a filter. They'll sneak another bus down in on here, however they're sorting it. I have no real idea. Is it by the number of passengers? I mean, that wouldn't. No, because this one only does 45 passengers. Is it just by the price? Yeah, I think they're... Yeah, it seems... No, because... Well, wait a minute. Maybe they're doing it... No, because if it was by the price, this one would be on the bottom. I don't know. Whatever. Is it alphabetically? Yeah. No, because this one would be... I don't know. Whatever. All right, let's get a red bus. Fine. can't figure out everything in life, right? Some things are just mysteries that you can. Yeah, that's not a bus stop. So I guess our bus stop would be this one, huh? And we'll take people to there, and let's just make sure. I probably don't need to uncheck that. It's just we do have it unchecked here. Yeah. We do have it unchecked here. Right? Oh no. Well, again, because it's if you're not close enough to houses, you don't get passengers or students anyway. But I like to take it off just so that one day I'll actually bus passengers someplace potentially. But in any event, so now we have a bus. Did we actually start the bus up? I forget. There we go. Now he started. Okay, so we'll start getting people up here, which means the next thing to do. Here, we could probably start playing. Let's get. And I've been trying to save up money and not spend too much of it on other things. And let's just see, do the Americans have anything better at all? 18,000 for speed level 35. And then if we look at this, yeah, I think I always like better speed level, huh? Covered hull, yeah, we'll have to get a couple of them. But first we have to get a tractor or two. And I think the Americans had a better tractor earlier on, but I guess I can't buy it anymore. So this one has a higher speed level. Huh. So you wonder what the advantage to either one would be, right? Like, don't we want the best speed level? Why not get the cheaper ones? So we're going to get 3 tractors. The other thing I want to do is I took our thing off of auto search. And another thing I want to do a lot of things, don't I? Before I go too nuts, I want to assign this guy to finish this road. Now hopefully that's going to be a lot of gravel to do that road, but so there goes our tractors. Hopefully they're going to the fields I want them to. What is this field? 14. Yeah, that's one. Yeah, you guys go up here and do 14, 9, and 11. So let me get rid of all but 14, 9, and 11 because I want to sort of be ready to divide these up by. There we go. 14, 9, and 11 should be done. And this one, let's see, each one of the. All right, I'm blocking my own view. Each one of these is going to be, like each one of these will handle 12 fields. And I figure this one, I'll do these 12. And then this one, I'll do these 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Right? Well, probably would do this one too. Close enough. Whatever. We'll work it out. So this guy can do any one of these. And even maybe these 3. So we'll just. No road connection. Okay. We can fix that. There you go. Now you got a road connection. No road connection. Once again, we have the technology. And this is probably one of the reasons you would. Those are already assigned, I think. There we go. So how many does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, but then he's going to get a few more when I get. Well, when this construction office kind of gets done with its stuff. Now that we're sewing stuff, let me just take this guy and assign him to build our next farm. All right. So why not? Like, just keep him busy, get this whole complex done. And when these guys get done this one, I'll assign these to factory roads. Now, what I'm curious about is, when we do start getting some corn, does it pass right through all of this and get into here? You know, I'm certainly hoping it does. Yeah, and I know I'm trying to export every bit of power, and I think it's causing fluctuations. So harvesting, we have speed 28, and the Americans had speed 35. Now, what is the difference in the price? I don't know. Let's go for the speed, and we're going to get 3 of those. And then just to start out, covered hull, we get the biggest covered hull that holds the most crops, which seems to always be the red one. Yeah, 10, and all those I remember are smaller. Oh, look, the tractor. Why would it? Oh, because I don't have a filter. And we get 3 of these trucks. So that's going to hurt our cash, or our rubles, pretty much. Now, where are you guys going? Oh, because you're... Never mind. I thought these were they're my gravel dropping off dump trucks. Look very similar. All right, well, there we go. We're harvesting some fields. Now, the other thing I wanted to point out, 2 things. And I don't know, am I the only person on YouTube that's actually doing all of this stuff manually? Am I the insane one? You know, like, but I can't assign this. So I'm wondering, like, I actually, you know, like, saved it and then, like, just tried to, like, demolish this rail. And you can even see here where I kind of reattached it, you know, and it, like, I can't assign this to them. They're saying it doesn't connect, but I don't know how to get it to connect anymore. Now, I'm wondering if it's because, is it a directional thing? Like, look, it even did, like, that little connection there. So I'm learning. Now, the other thing is, I'm not real happy, though it is, I mean, it is probably beneficial in some ways, but he's just doing his own thing. I'm not assigning him 2 things. He just keeps going, which is, you know, I'm not used to that, because when it comes to, like, doing the roads and all this, like when I'm building this asphalt road, I have to assign each and everything. They don't just assume because there's another job to go do it. Now, it's not breaking my heart in any way, shape, or form at this point, because my goal is, the first goal I have is to get this track completed to the steel mill, and he seems to be heading in that direction. Right? So it's not like I wouldn't be doing anything different almost, other than I probably would have, you know, I wanted to do this one because that's the steel. Like, get it done on this end. So I'm wondering if he had a place to turn around, would he then do this? Like, why won't he work on this? So that's a bit of a mystery to me. And again, I'm not real happy that I can't, I mean, I can assign him another job. Like, he will go do things that I tell him to do. Like, if we say, go work on this one, see how it's green, but if I go, well, see, it doesn't connect. Even though it's showing me, see that one now, that one says yellow. Well, no, because it took it off. See, it says green, like, you know, so I'm wondering if it's just not a turnaround thing. So is this, okay, so there's unfinished 6. So he will go, oh, wait a second. Let's do this. Look, oh wait. All right, so now let's do this. No, it doesn't connect. Didn't I just select that? Now, like, why? I thought I just... Okay, thank you, save. That one makes sense that it wouldn't. Weird, huh? So I don't understand why it won't do that. And I know just sitting there clicking on it over and over. So now I seem to have stopped them from everything, but there you go. So now he can he was working on that one. He'll go work on it. So I'm wondering, I got to figure that out, obviously. And I've been trying to look for other videos where people are building things manually. And I just don't even, I mean, I see some guys do it like once in a while, they build it manually, but for the most part, I guess they just don't have the patience for it. And I don't know, to me, it's, I don't know, just, I guess if you're impatient or I can understand. I mean, I've spent a lot of extra hours in recording the videos because of all of this, but it's, hey, for me, it's, well, it seems like the other mode, I don't want to call it cheaty, but it's, I can understand it's a game, play it the way you want. I'm a firm believer in that, but I don't know. To me, it just seems like that's the way it should be played, right? Like you're going to build, that's the beauty of this for me, is that you can send your little guys out there and you got to coordinate them, and makes it like far more difficult in some ways. In certain ways, it's, big coordination effort to do that. So, but anyway, so I will try to figure that out at some point, or else we're going to be in trouble as far as track laying goes. I don't know what I have to do to get that working. And I'm also aware, this is our diesel station, but I'm also aware at this point that I don't have a depot, so we'll have to get a depot in there. And let's go see how our farms are doing. Well, it's going to be a little bit before we actually get a flow of grain coming in. So I'll probably cut the video, but then when we come back, expect, some thought on how we're going to get multiple vehicles into here. So like I might end up going around and destroying some of these stores and putting in the big, even in this town here, we might end up, really considering how we're going to distribute this food so that we don't end up having to pay for it. And I think that cargo station attached to either little stores or big stores, will be the way to go. So, and we may need to add some houses down here now that we've got this thing running. But there's not a whole lot of other demand for people, I don't think, outside of construction. So we'll see how it goes. All right, I will be back when we actually have a flow of corn coming in, and food, hopefully. Guys, I realize we don't have a depot, and I thought maybe we could do something to, excuse me, do something to build a depot, and at the same time see if I can't get this guy to be able to turn around and go back and work on this. So what I'd like to do is at the end of the rails here, can we make a circle that eventually we could expand to let him go every which way but loose. But can I just make a circle right here? So let's see if we go over to it. Here, we can close these. I was keeping an eye on that. So if I were to start, like, say here, right? Just kind of come out like that, and then we'd have another one that would, he's working on that, can we go like so, and then let's see, we'll do a little bit of a straight section just to make sure we have enough room to turn. Make this guy, yeah, that's actually pretty similar distance, I think. It doesn't look it exactly, but it is. So then we'll go like that. It's kind of ugly. Let's that little bit at the end there is causing the problem. There we go. So if we commit to that, I'm assuming he'll be able to build that, and it seems like he would be able to turn around, and if that's our issue, he'll be able to come back over to here. So let's get rid of the wireframe. We could put time back on. Not that I probably needed to take it off. And let's go back. Is he still working? No. Good. So that's, so now theoretically, okay, so he'll work on that, and then I'm hoping that once that's connected, he'll be able to come back in and turn around here. Now, the other thing we need to do here, so we don't forget, put in a train depot, huh? Can we put it in? No, there's no way they'll be able to. But if we, yeah, let's see, can we flatten some train out this way? So this will put the depot out of our way, and at the same time, what I'm hoping to be able to do here. Let's even stop. Let's see if we come here. No, that wouldn't be where we would do it. So we want to go back and take a little bit further. You see what I'm trying to? I want to be able to get him to go either way on this track. Let's just push them back even further, just to make sure. All right, let's see if that's far enough. So if we come straight out a little bit, then we should be able to go that way. Right there. Let's try it the opposite direction. Oop, I saw a green flash. No, you don't like that. There we go. That's what I had in mind. Good. So even though I just broke that project up into 3 sections, that's okay. He seems to just keep going. So let's see, did we unassign him? Yeah, we unassigned him in the process of that. So now I bet you, yeah, he could even work on 2. I don't know if we'll get confused, but I don't know what he'll do with that double direction. But there we go. So I'll come back when we're ready to test that. As far as what's going on up here, I forgot to put in a gas station. And looks like we're getting to the last phase of the gas station. So I'll take this guy who's actually not there right now, and I'll say when you get done, I'll go to have him drop off fuel here first, and then sit here and wait. Hopefully that'll work out in the long run. We'll have to keep an eye. But then we've also got our second farm well underway. And we'll have to get the silo done, and I'm working on the road connection or the factory connections between them. And then, you know, probably work on some of the gravel roads at some point here. And our fields, if we look at, our thing, we've got a field at 40%, so we're still have a wait for our corn and whatnot. All right, I'll be back most likely with a rail update, if not a corn update. Or I keep saying corn, crops, but I think you guys get the idea. All right, see you in a minute. Well, we have completed our little loop here. He decided to go work on this rail. Sometimes he decides to go work on something, sometimes he doesn't. But let's see if that fixed this problem. Yes. So that's what it is. So even though he can do magical U-turns in construction sites or in, like buildings and stuff like that, they can't do magical U-turns on the rails. So I'm hoping, so we'll just have to consider that. I don't know how well we'll be able to get every which way but loose right here. But like if we were to just try to do a crisscross here, it's not going to get over to this other track too well. So we'll have to keep in mind how we get him to do that. But the good news is we've now assigned the steel. So all right. Anyway, I in between the periods there, the break, I don't know what you want to call it, have went and completed, because we moved the construction site. And by the way, when you see me guys, when I go around and sometimes I just use this level tool, I don't know if it'll let me. It might look a little bit, kind of messed up our field in the one case, but it just sort of looks a little more natural. Not right there so much, but So anyway, I added 2 more fields here. I finished off this field, and I put one down here. So now each of these... Uh-oh. Oh, crap. You know what? I was wondering about this. Is the fire company close enough? Where's the fire truck? Oh, he's on the move. Okay, good. I was hoping that the fire truck was close enough. I didn't even notice the message again. It seems to be a thing I do. The only other thing I've done is pave some more roads. So, like, you know, this guy's getting blocked a little bit, but he still has fields up here. And then I realized, let me switch these fields around. I didn't notice the slope so much. I may not be able to do this, but I move these fields as back far that way as I can get them. So hopefully we can get a road to attach. Let's see, can we do it just without much modification? And then I don't have a... Yeah, I'll have to see. I might have to spin them back around. Like, yeah, so we'll see. But I don't have a free excavator, so I can't really do too much terrain modification until that guy gets freed up. And we're still not... Oh, we have one growing. Oh, there goes a harvester. So maybe it is worth sticking around and see. Hello, thank you, save game. The other thing I noticed is this is just a few feet too far to get electricity. So I have to build another substation up here, which we're in the process of doing, switch and a substation and all that stuff. So otherwise these guys, oh no, they won't have power either until... All right, well, you know what, let me come back in 2 minutes when we get power back and we've actually got some crops in here and everything's gone. But there we go, look, we're harvesting some crops. Happy days. I think that's actually going to help with our money more than we realize. And, you know, Mikhail left a comment saying, nobody fields. But, you know, again, each one of these can handle about 12 and, you know, go big or go home in a sense. And I want this to be enough for the future. So total we'll have like 36 fields, but, you know, we barely kind of have enough food right now. Let's go check out the food situation since we have a minute. I haven't really looked over there. So what I did was I put, if you remember from the last episode, I have these guys mostly just going right to here. Yeah, we have some food, so we do have a little bit of a buffer, but at the same time, let's see here. Imports from Western countries. And well, let's do last month, since this month just started. That was February, which is a short month, so we're still importing a good amount of food. Clothes and electronics, yeah, we'd like to get those down too, but coal, we've imported, oh, yeah, because this coal plant is just not doing the greatest job of keeping up with this. Since I've maxed out our power, I think we're buying a bunch more coal, which I'm okay with because I think it's a net profit, even though, boy, that's a lot more money we spent in coal, isn't it? But I need the money, and I think, like I said, it's a net positive for us to do that. But anyway, we're plowing ahead, and I'm happy about this. That way we can get this worked on, and then I also stopped here because the rail guys cannot actually build this building. So now what I'll do is I'll assign these rails here, and hopefully he'll go do that after I'm fine with him doing this. Now I probably need a road, don't I? Yeah, I need to get a road up here. Okay, I guess I'll just wrap it around. Just go over to there, even though I don't really want to make too many extra connections on this road. I don't have much choice, do I? Do like this. Our favorite little tight. I just deleted it. I was gonna say, no, I don't want that kind of road. I don't think anybody really needs to come here very often, right? what's wrong? Okay, you were kind of finicky about that one, weren't you? Alright, there we go. So now we'll be able to construct this, which I don't think these guys... Are they done? Yeah. I've just been setting these guys to paving. Oh, no, they're not done yet. But you know what? They're close enough to done. They've got all their materials on there, I can tell from the percentage. So we'll assign them to build that train depot. And... Yeah, this is a meat storage. I forgot what I had even put it there. But we're going to hold off because we're going to see what we're going to do with that whole kind of drop-off food sort of thing. And this guy can probably get a new assignment, even though it's... Well, we don't want to... You know what? Why don't we assign him... You know, I know it's kind of far for them to go, but... You know, I think I'll assign him to do... paved road all the way over here. Yeah, it might not make the most sense in some ways, but it's nice, you know, definitely if you're going to plan on doing gravel roads, as best that you can, plan on doing like boxes, like it's not a box, but it's a funny shape, but at the same time, like I can safely pave this one and not stop all the traffic because they have other alternatives, even if it's not their favorite way to go. So I decided that they seem to really like going around this way, so I decided to pave that. The only reason I hadn't was because I didn't quite know what I was going to do with the railroad, and it's not like people weren't busy doing other things, so... Okay, so are we ready over here? Do we have power? That's probably the big thing. No. Do we have power to this? No. What are you guys doing? I think I just gave them too much to do. Yeah, so they got too many projects going on. I should have probably just assigned to get the power re-hooked back up. Now, will these... They don't have power, but we can still take in corn, right? So does this still... Yeah, some of these buildings, you know, I kind of question the whole... Yeah, you know, like needing to have... Yeah, we have crops. Okay, so it's seeming like we could get things through here as expected. Alright, we do have workers. Well, this one's definitely going to need power, so missing resources crops, but I'm wondering, let's get the power back first, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, and the slowdown here is going to be... They have to drive all the way back to Gateway Love, you know, all the way back to the gravel town to get the electronic components that they need. So that's going to be a hindrance. All right, well, I think I'll come back. Well, you know what? Let's see if we can work this out together. Do we have... Yeah, I think those guys are done, whatever they were doing. So let's see. Can I come in here and just... No, it won't let me manually lower it. I don't think it's going to let me... Yeah, it's not letting me do anything with that. So let's come in here and demolish all of this road. Very carefully. And then now can I do a little bit of... Yeah, now I can do a little bit of leveling to at least make it maybe possible. Let's just do a little section and see. Okay, good. We'll do a little section here and see. Too steep. Okay, that's why we're doing little sections. So let's take a look at the wireframe. Oh yeah. So let's see, can we lower this a bit? too much. Well, that guy will go, but that guy won't. Will he go if I go? Alright, so let's go back up just a hair. I think I messed this guy up. Oh. You know what? I'll take it. Now, did I really want to do gravel roads like that? No. So that's all right. The dirt road should work out just fine. Though I should have just done dirt roads. All right, so let's see. Can we just do this number? That'll work. That'll work. I don't care if it's turned the right way. Very good. Now can I just delete this last little bit without... Okay, so good. So now I don't think those were assigned. A couple of these fields. Yeah, see that one, and that was the reason they weren't assigned was because here, you know what? I don't want you to auto search. I hope he's not. I hope they don't pick up fields that somebody else is working on. I really didn't. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm just going to do this. Now that that auto search is off, I forgot to. Though I know some of the highlands is up over there. That's the fields. All right, so we just took off all of those. So this guy's going to do 1, 2, 3. I decided to give this other guy because he's got a lot of close fields. So. Now if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4s is 12. So he now has his 12 fields, and I know they're not the same 12 fields as the other guy. And we are starting to build up some crops, and yeah, we're just waiting on electronic components. Let's turn off that wireframe. All right, very good. All right, well, let me put a little pause in it, and I do want to, I've kind of lost track of how long I've been recording. I think I'm getting close to an episode here, but let's just see. Did we get this guy? Yes, most wonderful. Now, what I want him to work on next, I don't care if he works on something extra, but can we get, whoop. Yes, there we go. All right, so what else were you working on? That's 80% done. We decided to go, what else did you decide to go work on? I don't know. I don't care. Any track that he builds is fine with me. Another thing to note that I've been keeping an eye on is our steel is actually going up. So at least with our current setup, we are able to, we are able to stay ahead of this guy on all the supplies. Because steel was the one thing I was worried about. We should have plenty of gravel and plenty of prefab panels getting in, but I just wanted to make sure of that. And the other thing is I realized that when this gets empty, which we're getting close, that we're going to lose our source. Really, the thing that's saving us right now is that we're selling this steel. So at some point I have to come to grips with that, and I'm just sort of hoping that by the time once we get we might have food to export kind of thing, and or some, we can get our clothes industry going, so this will give us some benefits here. So okay, well, let me put a quick break in, and then I'll come back when we got power set back up. All right, we got power back, and I was just looking at this guy. It doesn't seem, well, we have no workers, but will this be, yeah, there we go. We got some workers in there now. They don't seem to be producing any food because we're just not getting any corn in, which, I guess the other thing is like it's saying resources available from grain source 2. I'm wondering, we don't have any in here, so I'm hoping it picks up both of those. So unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be passing through this into there. So now I wonder if we were to be able to put a train on here would it then be able to go through, right? Like if the train was just sitting there doing nothing. But we'll have to see about that. So since I can't do anything about a train there right now, we will come over to here and we will purchase a covered haul. By the way, I spent myself almost out of money, and I'm almost going to go out of money again as far as the rubles go, but I definitely want to buy this truck, and we will set him with 2 stops. We'll go from here to here, and even though I don't think he can get anything else out of there but crops, we'll set it that way. There we go. So you go ahead and start, and what I want you to do is wait until you're loaded. You know what, for now we'll wait until you're unloaded as well, but you know, at this point I'm going to have to get trucks in and out of here, so I don't want to clog this up with too much going on. And that's a pretty, look at the little traffic jam we got here. Oh, the track, yeah, until I get this substation done, I can't get any fuel into here, so these tractors have to go all the way back to town to get their fuel. So alright, well, where you go, you're probably going to there, aren't you? Either that or up here. No, you're going to the substation, I bet. Alright, well anyway, we're going to pave this road, you know, keep paving some gravel roads, as I don't think I'll interfere too much. Like, they still have fields to sow up here for this other farm, and this guy is building up, you know, a fair supply of crops at this point. We just have to get that truck up here. And while we're waiting for that truck, I want to point out that this guy sort of continuing on his way over towards the steel mill. Once he gets over to here, I'll steer him, you know, to go this way. But even if he finishes this, it's not the end of the world. All of it, I don't see myself having to tear any of that up or changing the plan anytime soon. I think everything seems like it'll work once we build it, and we'll have to do something about, you know, getting him to be able to go every which way, you know, onto this other track. But for now, we're in good shape there. At least we're building rails, right? And eventually we'll get a connection up to here, of course, but that'll probably be in the next, well, that will definitely be in one of the next episodes, if not the next, because I think the next episode will be about distributing food. Alright, so we should have food in here. Yes, we do. So we don't have enough money to buy another covered haul, but we could probably, why don't we intercept, I mean, there is a, no, that's a gravel. Let's see. So the best way, finding your vehicles is a bit tough. So if we go covered haul, yeah, that's the grain storage one. So let's do, a lot of times you can tell. So that's all the agro farm. Well, we know it's not up that way, right? Gateway Love grocery store. So he just goes to that one grocery store. Oh, and I want to thank Radomir for pointing out that I had sent my truck to instead of the meat truck going to like the grocery store in Energenisk, it was going to the cinema. So I did straighten that out. So we're looking for a truck that, Energenisk Farmist Grocery Store. Okay. So instead of that guy going from all the way over there, good, he's heading up this way anyhow, so he shouldn't be too hard to, well, whatever, we would assign him to this anyway. So we're going to assign him to come here, and then we're going to delete this one, and you're going to load food, and you're going to unload food at the grocery store. So at least that'll be a far shorter trip for him. And I have a feeling that once we get things rolling, I guess my truck driving back and forth went to go get fuel. At least I hope that's all I did. Yeah, he's got a full tank of fuel now, so very good. And yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape. And like I said, now that we're actually making a tiny bit of food, I mean, we're going to have more than enough crops. We're going to want to get this train going. And, the only reason I'm not heading right up there right this minute, and maybe we should even consider another, train building vehicle. But at this point, I don't have enough money to consider anything really. I'm a bit cash strapped, as is normal, I think. But we're making progress. We are taking our money down to the very edge, but at the same time, it is going up, and hopefully it'll continue. And now that we have, we're going to have a booming food crops industry. So we'll talk about, again, really want to get this train going, because I think if we get the train going here, we can send a train all the way down to here pretty easily and start supplying, again, a clothing industry again, which we seem to be doing, which is a sign. That's good, because that's a sign that this... Well, I thought that would have had to have been full in order to get that, but anyway, whatever. We're in good shape. But I'm glad to see we're getting some crops in there. How many do we have? Not much. Maybe we just had like a load. That means we should, at some point, be selling clothing again. But yeah, so we have a lot of distribution issues to get straightened out. And like I said, we're going to try that road cargo station. Oh, look, we got a little section of road done, too. Let's do that before we leave the episode. Go the whole way. That's very nice. So this guy, he's still building over there. So let's get this guy to make the long trip. And I know I could switch the places that they get their stuff from and make it slightly more efficient, but there you go. And we could get this road built. I don't know. Yeah, they use that fairly regularly. So, and it's definitely, the gravel roads are definitely limiting the speed of the trucks and buses. So every time we get one of those finished, it'll be good. All right. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. We now have crops, and we've got a lot of crops in the near future. So we're going to have to get them distributed or exported or something. Try to figure out a new method of getting things delivered in the near future. So I hope you enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves and have a good day. Bye-bye.